Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're diving deep today into something I know a lot of you are thinking about: finding that perfect niche. You know, the spot where your passions and skills can actually turn into a business. And we've got a great source to help us out today, a Medium article. It's called Finding Your Niche: Steps to Identify a Profitable Market Gap. And it's by an author with a very intriguing pen name. I tried it.
I tried it. I have to admit, that makes me curious about their journey.
Right. But let's get into it. So the first step they highlight is self-reflection. I know that might sound a little bit touchy-feely, but stick with me.
It's really practical, though. This isn't like some mystical, soul-searching thing. It's about taking a good, hard look at your passions, your skills, and even your past experiences. Think of it like an inventory of what are your strengths, what comes naturally to you, what do you enjoy doing.
And the author I tried it actually shares their own story, which is a perfect example of this. They had a background in digital marketing, but their real passion was affiliate partnerships.
And what's so cool is that they didn't ditch their existing skills. They applied them in a new way. They saw that lots of businesses were struggling to manage their partnerships, especially affiliate managers, and to automate those processes. And that's where their passion and expertise kind of came together, and Boom Niche was born.
So it's not always about reinventing the wheel. Sometimes it's about looking at what you already know with fresh eyes. And that brings us to the next step: defining your target audience.
Right, because a niche isn't just about what you offer, but who you're serving. It's understanding their needs, their desires, and their pain points.
The article talks about creating customer profiles and getting really specific, like their demographics, their job roles, their
Yeah.
challenges.
It's about getting specific and understanding why they do what they do. So, for example, I tried it, saw that affiliate managers don't usually have great resources or automation tools.
Yeah.
That's a major problem.
Totally. You got to know who you're serving and what their problems are. But how do you actually find that info? I mean, they're not just going to walk up and tell you.
That's where the next step comes in market research. I know it sounds kind of daunting, but it's just about backing up your ideas with data, making sure there's demand for what you want to offer.
And I tried it. Use surveys to do this, which is interesting because a lot of people think surveys are outdated, but they can be really valuable.
Absolutely. They can give you direct insights from your audience. You just have to ask the right questions to the right people. In this case, I tried it, probably targeted their surveys to affiliate managers and business owners, the people running affiliate programs.
So it's all about who you ask. Pretty smart.
And it's not just surveys either. The article also mentions competitor analysis and trend research. Competitor analysis can show you what others are doing well or where they're messing up, and maybe highlight some opportunities.
And trend research can help you find those up-and-coming markets, spot changes in what people want, and stay ahead of the game.
Exactly. And that brings us to another tool the article talks about: keyword and trend analysis. Now, I know those words sound a bit jargony.
But it's just about tapping into what people are already searching for online.
Exactly. Understanding what's on their minds, what problems they need to solve, what solutions are they looking for. And there are some really great tools for this, like Google Keyword Planner and Google Trends.
Yeah, you can literally see what people are typing into those search bars. So cool. But how do you use those tools right? It's not just random words and magic insight.
You're right. It's definitely strategic. With Google Keyword Planner, you can see how many people are looking for certain keywords, how competitive they are, and even get new ideas for keywords. It's like a roadmap for your online marketing.
And Google Trends shows how interest in those keywords changes over time, so you can see if your niche is growing or shrinking, helps you make better decisions.
The article uses this great example. I tried it. Notice that searches for affiliate management tools and partnerships automation were on the rise.
Wow. It's like they predicted the future.
Exactly. That foresight can be super powerful when you're competing.
So we've got the niche aligning with our passions, we know our audience, we've checked demand with research, and we're on top of trends. What's next? How do we stand out?
That's where the unique selling proposition comes in, or USP. It's what makes you different from everyone else and makes you the top choice for your audience.
The article says it could be your approach, pricing, expertise, even your personality. But how do you know what makes you unique? Isn't everything already out there?
That's a good question, and one lots of people struggle with. I think the key is to really dig deep and figure out what your audience values. What are they missing? What are they looking for but can't find?
I tried it, decided to focus on personal support and custom solutions. It wasn't just about the product, it was about relationships and giving each client exactly what they need.
Yeah, and that worked well with their audience. because they were used to being treated like just another number.
So it's not just about being different. It's about being different in a way that your audience cares about.
Exactly. And I think a good way to start is to ask yourself, what do I do better than anyone else? What special skills or experience do I bring?
And then how do you make that clear to your audience?
Right. Because it doesn't matter if they don't get it.
Okay, so we've nailed down our USP. We're feeling confident, ready to go. Do we just launch the business now?
Not so fast. I tried it. Says you got to test your idea points, dip your toes in before you jump in the deep end.
The article talks about building a landing page or offering free samples to see if there's interest. Low-risk way to get feedback and see if anyone will actually pay.
Right. And I tried it. Did exactly that. Consultations and free resources before the full launch.
I love that. Like a test drive for your business idea.
And that early feedback can be super valuable. Make sure you're giving people what they really want.
Okay, so we've tested the idea, gotten some good feedback, feeling good. What's next? How do we get those customers?
Content strategy is where it's at. It's about making and sharing content that teaches, informs, and engages your audience.
The article mentions blog posts, videos, social media, even case studies.
Exactly. It's about showing what you know, building trust, becoming the go-to in your niche.
And I tried it, talked about how their content on affiliate management drew people in and helped them build that loyal following.
It's a great example of how content can really grow your business.
But there's so much to choose from. Where do you even start?
Focus on the platforms where your people are and create stuff that fits your brand and goals.
So if your people are on Instagram, that's where you should be.
Exactly. And if you want people to visit your website, maybe focus on blog posts that Google will love.
So it's about strategy.
And remember to be consistent. That keeps you on their radar.
Okay, so we've launched, we're creating great content, we've got customers, everything's awesome. Can we relax now?
Hold on. I tried it. It says always be watching and be ready to adapt. Things change constantly, so you got to change with them.
Yeah, they say the only constant is change, right?
Exactly. Especially in business. You got to be flexible, adaptable, and always ready.
The article talks about keeping up with industry news, getting feedback from your customers, and watching what your competition is doing.
It's like having your finger on the pulse and being ready to move.
And I tried it. Mentioned they've changed their strategy a few times.
Based on what their clients needed and how the industry shifted.
Which shows that it's not about being stubborn. It's about being open to feedback and change. Wow, this has been a lot. Self-reflection, target audience, market research, keywords, USP, testing.
We've talked about content strategy, staying flexible, and always checking and refining your approach. But there's more. Stay tuned for part 2, where we get even deeper into the strategies. That'll help you build that dream business.
Can't wait. Back after a quick break.
Welcome back. It's great to continue this deep dive into finding your niche.
Yeah, me too. I feel like we've already learned so much from this article. Before we go on, though, what are some things that stood out to you?
You know what really struck me is how much the author's journey is like classic entrepreneurship. It's not just about the steps. It's about trying stuff out, learning, and adapting, like a real-life example.
Right. It's way more relatable than a textbook. One thing that really resonated with me was all that data-driven stuff. It's so easy to just get caught up in the excitement of a new idea. But I tried it. Makes it clear. You got to have data to back it up.
Oh, for sure. Remember those Google Trends examples? Seeing how searches for affiliate management tools were trending upwards. It's like you're seeing what people actually want. It's not just about knowing there's demand. It's about understanding what they're really looking for.
That's such a good point. It's one thing to know people want affiliate marketing, but seeing them look for specific tools, that gives you so much direction.
Exactly. And it shows why using those tools the right way is so important. Don't just scratch the surface. You got to dig deep to get those real insights.
Okay, so we're using data, we're building our USP, but I still have this fear. What if it doesn't work? What if I put in all this work and it just flops?
That's a totally normal fear. And honestly, every entrepreneur feels it. But here's the thing. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it.
I tried it. Talked about having to change their strategy based on what their clients wanted and how the industry changed. They weren't afraid to try things and adjust if it wasn't working. It's like that whole fail fast thing.
Exactly. Those setbacks are how you learn. And a lot of times, those failures lead to something even better, something you never would have found otherwise.
So it's not about never failing. It's about how you deal with it, seeing it as a chance to learn and get better.
Exactly. And that actually ties into another important part of a successful business, building a strong community.
Oh, yeah. It's not just about buying and selling, it's about connecting with your customers.
For sure. Talk to your audience on social media. Reply to their comments. Help them connect with each other. A strong community will spread the word about you and be loyal to your brand.
And then it creates this cycle. You engage with them, they feel valued, and your business grows. Everyone wins.
Exactly. Let's switch gears a bit. Talk about how to use all this. I'm sure people are wondering, how do I actually start?
Right. Where do we begin?
One of the most helpful things from I Tried It is to start small. Remember how they offered consultations and free stuff before the big launch? Anyone can do that.
You can make a simple website, offer a free sample, or just start talking to people on social media. Test the waters.
Exactly. Those little steps can give you huge insights. It's all about making sure your idea works without spending a ton of money.
Speaking of money, let's talk resources. I tried it, mentioned Google Keyword Planner and Google Trends, but what else is out there?
There are so many resources. Industry blogs, forums, online classes, even local events. They can teach you so much and connect you with the right people.
Oh, and don't forget about mentors. Finding someone who's been there can be so helpful.
Absolutely. A good mentor will guide you, support you, and help you work through your ideas.
Okay, so we're starting small. Using resources, building community. But let's go back to that USP for a minute. I know a lot of people have trouble figuring out what makes them stand out. What advice would you give them?
It goes back to knowing your audience. What do they care about? What are they struggling with? What can't they find anywhere else? When you really get that, then you can build a USP that speaks to them.
And it doesn't have to be something crazy or brand new. It could be amazing customer service, a unique pricing model, or even just a personality that people connect with.
The important thing is that it's real. It fits your brand, and it shows the value you offer.
So it's about finding that thing that makes you different and the best choice for your audience. But what if someone's already doing something similar? How do you deal with competition?
That's a great question. I think it starts with seeing competition as a good thing, not a bad thing. Don't think of them as enemies. See them as inspiration.
Instead of copying them, learn from what they're doing and use that to improve your own approach.
Exactly. Competition can push you to be better. And in the end, it helps you create something even better for your customers.
So don't be afraid of it. Learn from it and let it help you grow. We've talked a lot about the big picture, but what about the actual day-to-day stuff like websites, social media, finances?
Those are all super important. And in part 3, we'll dive into all of that. We'll talk about building a website that turns visitors into customers, using social media the right way, and even how to manage your money.
This is getting good. Can't wait to hear more. All right, we're back for the final part of our deep dive into finding your niche. Ready to get down to business, like actually building this thing.
Me too. We've talked strategy, market research, USP. Now let's make it real. In the online world, I mean.
First up, the website. It seems so basic, but I know it trips people up.
It's your online storefront, right? Got to make a good first impression. Think about those sites you leave instantly. What's wrong with them?
Too cluttered. Can't find anything. Confusing menus.
Yep. People don't have patience online, so your site needs to look good. Be easy to use. Oh, and don't forget about mobile. Everyone's on their phones.
And it has to show off your brand, that unique selling point we talked about. Not just looking pretty, but just telling your story, solving a problem for people.
Exactly. Don't hide the important stuff either. You need clear calls to action. Tell people what to do. Join your email list. Download something. Buy something. Guide them.
And then there's SEO, making sure Google can even find you.
Keywords are key there. Using the right words so you show up in search results. And site speed matters. No one likes a slow website.
Okay, website's done. Now social media. So many choices.
You don't have to do them all. Pick the ones where your audience is. Think about it. If you're targeting professionals, LinkedIn's probably best. But if it's visual, Instagram might be king.
It's all about strategy.
Right, and try different stuff. Videos, images, stories, live streams, see what works. But remember to be consistent. That's how you build a following.
And don't forget to listen too. See what people are saying about your brand. It can tell you so much.
Speaking of connecting, don't forget about email. Might seem old school, but it still works.
Right. It's like a direct line to people. You can share stuff, promote stuff, build relationships.
Exactly. But build your list the right way. No one wants spam. Give people a reason to sign up. Maybe a free ebook, a discount, special content.
And personalize it. Make sure you're sending the right emails to the right people.
Good point. Now, even with the best website and marketing, there's one thing that can make or break you. Customer service.
So true. One bad review online can spread like crazy.
So you got to put the customer first, answer questions quickly, anticipate what they need, go above and beyond to make them happy. Those little things can turn someone into a loyal customer.
And keep your policy simple. No one wants to fight to get help.
Right. Now we need to know if all this is actually working. That's where tracking comes in.
Yeah, I tried it. Didn't just launch and hope for the best. They watched their progress and made changes based on what they saw. But there are so many things to track.
It depends on your goals. But some of the big ones are website traffic, social media engagement, email opens, and of course conversions. Are people actually buying?
There are lots of tools for this, like Google Analytics and social media dashboards. It can be a lot, but you don't need to be a data expert.
Start simple and add more as you grow. And the most important thing, use the data to make decisions.
If something's not working, change it.
Exactly. That's the beauty of niche businesses. You can be flexible. Now, as things start growing, you might need to build a team.
It's tough to let go of control, but I know I can't do everything myself. Any advice on finding good people?
Know what you need help with. What skills are you missing? What tasks are taking up all your time? And be picky. Don't just hire anyone. Find people who share your vision.
And when you find them, treat them right. Clear expectations, support, chances to grow. It's an investment.
Absolutely. And you got to master time management. Never enough hours in the day.
So true. Any tips?
Prioritize what absolutely has to get done today. Delegate what you can. And find a system that works for you. To-do list, calendar, app. Whatever keeps you on track.
And don't forget to take breaks. Might seem weird, but resting can make you more productive.
Totally. Burnout is real. While we're talking about building, don't forget your network. Those connections could be huge.
Yeah, it's not about schmoozing. It's about finding real relationships that help everyone.
Be proactive. Reach out to people you admire. Go to events. Help people out. Offer value first. And those connections become gold.
And follow up. A quick email or message can go a long way. Keeps you on their radar. Speaking of keeping things going, how do you stay motivated when things get tough?
Surround yourself with supportive people. Other entrepreneurs who understand. Online forums, meetups. Sharing the ups and downs can really help.
And celebrate the wins. No win is too small.
And remember why you're doing this. What's your purpose? What impact do you want to make that can keep you going?
I love that. Something that's easy to forget in all the hustle is giving back. I think I tried it, touched on that.
It's more than just being nice. It's about making a difference. Donating to a cause. Volunteering. Building an ethical business.
And tell people about it. People like to support businesses that do good.
Totally. Now the big question. Work-life balance. How do you do it?
Still working on that one. Any tips?
Set boundaries. Decide when you're working and when you're not. And stick to it. Make time for yourself. Exercise. Hobbies. Relaxing. Those are important.
And learn to say no. It's easy to take on too much, but sometimes saying no is the best thing.
Great advice. And remember, there's no such thing as perfect balance. It's always changing. Be kind to yourself. Focus on progress, not perfection.
Whoa, this has been amazing, from the big picture to the tiny details.
And I tried it the whole way. It's more than a name. It's a way of thinking. It's about doing, trying, and making your dreams happen.
So for everyone listening, what do you know? What are you good at? That could fill a need. What are you passionate about? What are you waiting for?
Take that first step. Experiment. See where it takes you. The world needs what you have to offer.
And that's a wrap on this episode of The Deep Dive. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into knowledge and ideas